All right, let's get right into it. If you're looking at poultry farming, you've got a huge decision to make right from the get-go. And it really boils down to this. Are you in it for the quick cash, or are you looking for that steady, long-term income? It's the classic showdown. Okay, let's put you in the driver's seat. Imagine this. You have 100,000 naira in your hand, ready to invest. What's the play? Do you go for the fast-growing broilers for meat? Or do you bet on the egg-producing layers? And listen, this isn't just some small choice. This is the strategic move that's going to define your whole business. Look, we're going to break down all the hard numbers for you. We're talking timelines, costs, the real risks, so you can make this call with total confidence. And hey, if this is the kind of practical, data-driven stuff you need to succeed, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss what we've got lined up. All right, first up in the ring, let's talk about our first contender, the broiler chicken. I call this one the sprinter, and for a really good reason. It's all about pure, unadulterated speed and a powerful finish.
And just how fast are we talking? Get this. Broilers are ready for market in just 6 to 8 weeks. That's it. You go from a tiny chick to a full-grown, market-ready product in less than 2 months. That is a ridiculously fast turnaround.
So how on earth do they grow that fast? Well, to get it, you need to understand one of the most important numbers in this entire business, the feed conversion ratio, or FCR. All it means is this: how good is a chicken at turning feed into actual body weight? And the rule is simple. The lower this number, the more money you make. And the broiler's FCR? It's honestly stunning. We're talking between 1.6 and 1.8. Now, what does that actually mean? It means for every 1.6 kilograms of feed you put in, you get 1 whole kilogram of chicken back out. That is an insane level of efficiency. It's like a biological miracle. But, and this is a huge but, that incredible efficiency has a weak spot. And it's one word: feed. Feed isn't just a cost. It's pretty much your only major cost, making up a whopping 70% of your total expenses. So you can imagine what happens when feed prices spike, right? Your profit margins just get absolutely obliterated. And that's not the only risk. There's another scary one: first-week mortality. Look, on a really well-run farm, yeah, you might lose a few checks, it happens. But if your management is sloppy, that loss can shoot up to 10, even 15%. Think about that. That's a huge piece of your investment vanishing into thin air before you've even gotten started. So, let's recap the broiler, our sprinter. The pros? You get your money back super fast, and demand goes through the roof during festive seasons. The cons? You are completely at the mercy of feed prices, and even a tiny slip-up in management can cost you a fortune. It's the textbook definition of high risk, high reward. Okay, let's switch gears. Time for our second contender, and this one is a totally different beast. Meet the layer, or as I like to call it, the marathoner. This bird isn't playing the same game. It's not about a quick sprint. It's all about endurance, consistency, and performing steady over the long, long haul. And let me tell you, this marathon starts with a very long wait. You're looking at 18 to 20 weeks before you see a single egg. Let that sink in. That is nearly 5 months of just spending, money going out for feed, for care, with absolutely zero income coming in. This is a game that requires patience and, frankly, a good amount of capital. But, and this is why you wait, when they do start laying, they are absolute production machines. At their peak, you're looking at an 85 to 90% lay rate. You know what that means? For every 100 birds you have, you are collecting 85, maybe 90 eggs every single day. This, right here, is where that steady cash flow finally starts pouring in. And that consistency just keeps paying off. Over its entire laying cycle, one single hen can produce up to 320 eggs. Now, do the math. Multiply that by 100 birds, or 1,000. Suddenly, you can see how this becomes a real, powerful, daily income machine. And you want to know the layer's real superpower? It's market stability. See, broiler demand can be up and down with the seasons, right? But eggs, everybody needs eggs. All the time. Households, bakeries, restaurants, they need them every single day, all year round. That gives you a market that is just incredibly reliable and predictable. So the layer's profile is pretty straightforward. The huge pro? That steady, daily cash flow from a market that literally never sleeps. The big con? You gotta survive that long 5-month wait for your first paycheck. And you need a pretty significant upfront investment to even get to that point.
All right, we've met both our contenders. We have the sprinter and we have the marathoner. Now it's time to bring out the judges' scorecard. Let's put them head to head, break it all down, and help you make your final call.
When you really look at it, this whole debate boils down to one single critical factor: time. The broiler pays you in 6 to 8 weeks, period. The layer makes you wait 18 to 20 weeks just for the chance to start earning. That's the fundamental trade-off right there. Quick cash now versus steady income later. So, which one is right for you? Well, this decision matrix should make it crystal clear. If your goal is all about quick returns and getting a big chunk of cash fast, then broilers are your bird, no question. But if you've got the patience and you prefer a steady, predictable income that comes in day after day, then layers are the obvious winner. But hold on, what if I told you that you don't actually have to choose? Here's the pro-level strategy. You combine them. You use the fast cash you make from 1 or 2 cycles of broilers to fund the expensive startup costs and survive the long wait for your layer operation. Now that is how you build a powerful, resilient poultry business from the ground up. So at the end of the day, you see, there isn't one single champion here. The real winner of this matchup? It's not the broiler or the layer. The winner is decided by you, by your goals, by the capital you have, and by how much patience you've got in the tank. And that's really the bottom line. The truth is, both of these birds can make you a lot of money. They can be incredibly profitable. But that profit only gets unlocked if you are smart enough to match the right bird and the right strategy to your own personal situation. Which brings us all the way back to that first question, but now it's your turn to answer it. Now that you've seen the real numbers, what's your strategy? Are you going to play the short game for that quick cash, or are you digging in for the long haul with that steady income? I'd love to hear it. Drop your choice in the comments below. Okay, so once you've picked your champion, what's next? Well, in our very next explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to build a simple but powerful business plan to guarantee your success. So make sure you are subscribed because you absolutely do not want to miss that guide. Thanks for watching.